Hello and welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm your host, Jay Byrne. Today, I'm working with some new cameras here, so we'll have to see how this comes out. You might get a little bit of glare into the screen here, so it might be a little bit hard.
All the stuff out.
Yes, because you might get a little bit of glare into the screen here. However, I think this will all work. So today we are going to talk about the, we're going to go into the tone studio for the Katana. I'm going to show you some of the sound effects and some of the different stuff. So yes, that's what we're going to do today. So first, when you open up the Tone Studio and you turn your amp on, you're going to get this little screen where it asks you to choose a device to connect with. So we're going to connect with the Katana. Okay, and that should as long as everything's okay. This should bring up all my settings. Takes a second, and there we go. And it looks like you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully it's in focus. Anyway, let's hold on a sec. Let's let this focus. Make sure this is nice and focused. So anyway, here we go. What we've got over here, these are my settings. I'm on the panel right now. On the left-hand side of the screen here, these are all the different channels that you can program in yourself. I have none of the channels programmed right now, but if you were to say, set up the screen the way you want it, because you can control the entire amp from this screen. I can just control it with all the knobs on the screen. It'll turn the knobs on the amp and do all that stuff. But this right here is, like I said, you get, with the Katana Artist, you get 8 presets. So you can set up whatever you want, this whole screen, and save that as a preset if you'd like to save that as a preset. However, I'm just gonna work off the panel for today so I can just show you what everything is. I'll give you a quick rundown here. This is the effects section. All right. If you go to this is what's called the chain. So this sets up how your this is like setting up a virtual pedal board. Okay. The amplifier equalizer is essentially the amp. So what this basically means is that your booster, your mod, I have it on chain 3-1. Your booster, your modulations, and your effects channel will be before the amp. It's like plugging pedals straight into the amp. And then it means your delays and your reverbs will be after the amp, which basically means that they would be in like the effects loop, so to speak, of the actual amp. And you can choose a whole bunch of different ones. Right now I've got chain 3-1 because I like to have my modulations and my effects like flanger and mod and univibe and those type of things. I like them before my distortion. But they're actually not before the distortion, are they? No, they're not in this setting. Well, it sounds okay for now. I'm not going to mess around with it. But I have different settings here and they're not actually before the distortion. So, okay then. Anyway, so we have, okay, so we're going to go back to the main screen here. Okay, and then we go, if you click on these, it says booster. This is to adjust the level. This is basically like your pedal knobs for the booster that you choose, basically. Same thing with the modulations, then the effects, the delay 2, I haven't quite figured out how delay 2 works, but if your reverb, these are your reverb settings. I'm just leaving everything stock because it sounds pretty good stock as far as I'm concerned. But you can go in and adjust all of these different settings if you'd like to. There's a solo knob on this amp. I didn't talk about this before. There's a solo knob, which is essentially a boost that you can set up that if you hit it with the foot switch, it picks up your volume louder. So you've got that. This is your contour on or off. That's just for this contour thing. Here, pedal effects. If you were using an expression pedal, you could use an expression pedal, and you could control, you could have like a wah pedal. I don't have that, but you could have a wah pedal, and it would be, you'd choose that from this screen. Your EQ and all that stuff. You can literally EQ the whole amp. It comes with a bunch of different EQs. You can change them. You can set them, look, different EQ1, EQ2. There is a noise suppressor built in, which is a noise gate. I actually don't have it on right now, but you can have a noise gate if you want. for your effects loop, your send and return, you can do it post amp or preamp, series or parallel, and you can adjust the send and return level. They should stay at 50 for the preset levels, and I just kind of just leaving things the way they are. But and then assign. This is where you can get crazy, and you can actually assign everything that you want to assign to the foot switch, or if you want to assign to the knobs, you can change everything. But this you can get nuts. You can do a lot in this program. But right now, we're just gonna go through the effects and that kind of stuff, and I'm gonna show the effects, and show you what each thing is. Right now, I have on my amp. Let's try. I'm running the. You know what? I'm gonna go with the crunch channel just because I think it will probably be a bit easier to add effects to. I'm gonna get a. Kind of a basic thing here. You can set everything 50-50-50 right there. All my equalizer is dead center. You can adjust it however you want to adjust it. I've got my channel volume on 50, my gain on 50, my reverb is on 15. I got a little bit of reverb on. Presence on 50, and the master volume on the amp is not on this screen because you can control that independently of all of this stuff. So right now, so if I wanted to turn on, this is how the boosters work. I've got my boosters right here, my drives. If you wanted to use and turn on. Alright, so I'm on the boosters. We're going to go through the boosters and we're going to see what we can get out of the boosters. Right now, you can choose a whole bunch. If you go to your booster right here, you can have 3 separate boosters. One on a green channel, one on a red, and one on a yellow. And you can choose between those 3 on the actual amp using the button on the amp or using the software if you're working with the software. So I've got a crunch channel. This is what the amp sounds like. Just straight right now. I'm not doing anything with it. Okay, so let's put a booster on and we'll see what we get. Just, you know what? I can actually do it from here. Just turn it up. Put it on like 15. Now I've got the blues drive on, is what I've got on. Pretty good. Actually, I really like the blues drive as a like a general like an overdrive, just using it as an overdrive. But you can go through this whole listing here. Like, look, see, I'll do it on the first one, but you can set it on all of these. Each one of these gives you the same choices. But the green channel is what we're on right now. This is what you got. You got blues drive, okay? You got overdrive right here. Yeah, sorry. Now this is overdrive. Now some of these will be a bit like harder, basically. This is a natural overdrive. I don't know. This is I can. So you got your natural overdrive right there. Warm overdrive, whatever that one is. That one's kind of nice. These are all, by the way, these are all based on Boss Effects pedals. They're not all listed as exactly what they are listed as. Like Turbo OD, I think is a distortion, a turbo distortion pedal. But we'll see. So yeah, so you got those. But anyway, regardless, I mean, I can go through every single one of these. We've got Tube Screamer right here. You get a Tube Screamer. I'm not a huge fan of the built-in Tube Screamer on this, but you can get it. There's a regular distortion. Then there is Fat Distortion, Distortion Plus, Governor Distortion. This is interesting because this is a Marshall Governor basically. See how it does. want to turn it off, I have to turn the volume down because I don't have my foot switch hooked up right now. But if I had the foot switch hooked up, I could click it on and off. This is the amp. And this is with that governor distortion. But yeah, so basically you get a bunch of different type of boosters that you can boost the amp like using an overdrive, or you can just use them on their own. Here's a rat. This is usually kind of raunchy, so. Going out of tune a little bit here, but anyway, so that's the rat, and there's a whole bunch. It's a metal zone. Let's see what this sounds like. You can also put these on a clean channel as well. I'll show you what that sounds like. Essentially sounds like this is a metal zone right now. So if I was to crank this up, this is essentially, it might be a little dark right now because I'm not messing with the EQ, but this is essentially like a metal zone through a clean channel. So let's see. Sounds like a metal zone through a clean channel. Sounds like garbage. That's exactly what that sounds like. But so yeah, so that's how that works basically. And you can do these all through the clean channel. Sometimes they sound better through the clean channel. It's nice to have a little bit of they must work better, like it's like as if like you're pushing an amp going through the front end of an amp. So but yeah, you've got all these different kinds. You got a metal DS, this is a fuzz. Here we go, some fuzz. Let's try this out. You want to crank up the fuzz. You can tell it's getting cranked up because of the, you know what, let's just do this. And now it should be pretty up there. But yes. So yeah, that's how these effects work, basically. So you can get an idea of how the effects actually work on here. That's what they do. And you basically, what you do is you would program what you want for these different effects. I am going to put this octave fuzz. What's that? I haven't tried all these. Yeah. All different kinds of stuff. I'm not going to go through every single one, but there's a HM2, a metalcore, and a Centaur. Oh, Centaur OD. OD. Okay, so this is a Klon Centaur, basically. That sounds actually pretty nice with a little bit of a crunch channel. It's not bad with a little bit of a crunch channel. So yeah, so you get all that. And like I said, I'm not going to go through every single one of these because we will be here for the rest of my life. However, you get 3 choices on the boosters that you can program in. So you have 3 different boosters that you can select from the amp or from the software, depending on how you're dealing with it. So let's try the mod now. Let's leave our blues drive. Oh, you know what? We'll shut our blues drive off. We'll bring it down so you can actually hear the mod on its own. So this is the amp. Just a little bit of reverb, and that's that. Now let's put this on. I'm gonna put the mod at like 50 because it doesn't seem to do too much until you get it up to like 50. But so with the mod on 50 right now, this is the chorus. See, this is my mod section, so I'm on mod right now. I'm on the green channel for the mod, so. So you've got that, and in this section you essentially have, you've got chorus. I'll just read them off. You got chorus, flanger, phaser, univibe, tremolo, vibrato, rotary, ring mod, slow gear, slicer, compressor, limiter, T-wah, whatever that is, auto wah, pedal wah, EQ, GQ, parametric EQ, guitar simulator, acoustic guitar simulator, AC process, whatever that is, wave synth. What's the wave synth sound like? This is like a synth. Obviously that probably sounds better on a clean channel. But octave, heavy octave, pitch shift. These are kind of fun, the pitch shift ones. That's not really an octave, it's more of a pitch shift thing though. But anyway, yeah, and then you get like different types of flangers, wah, the DC30, which is the dimension chorus, actually. I like this one, it's got a weird, interesting doubling effect on it. Kind of cool. You get that dimension chorus in there, and then there's so many different effects on here. It's like so much to go through, but that's your mods. So you know, let's leave the mod on, and then you can go to. Well, I'll show you the other one. Hold on. It's not easy to use this keyboard like this, just sitting here like this. I usually like to use a mouse, but it's easier to film like this. Okay, so now if we go to effects channel, we are actually on the phaser right now. Let's go to the tremolo. This is the green channel again. So this is. Now, the way these work is, it basically works as kind of like they give you kind of like a basic setting for it, and as you adjust the knob, you'll get more of, like for your tremolo, it'll just give you more tremolo. Yeah, there we go. Like it'll kick it. They all kind of work like that. Like I said, you can go in and adjust each individual effect in the software if you really want to get that crazy with it. However, I just leave it at the default and then just work with what I've got. It's really... The default really isn't that bad. It's actually pretty good. So I'll give you a basic rundown of what we got in the effects here, at least as of right now. Tremolo, vibrato, rotary, ring mod, slow gear, slicer, compressor. Some of them repeat from the other ones. Yeah, a lot of the same stuff that was in the mod section, actually. But there's some different ones here. Actually, this is all the same stuff. So the effects section and the mod section are essentially the same. So you can actually have like 3 effects here and 3 effects in your mod. So your mod and your effects can kind of work together in a sense. And when you get to your delays here, let's... I've got it on the tape echo right now, but I'm going to do this. But let's see. And if you turn your delay on here, let's bring this up to like half, like 50-ish. And this is the digital delay right now, which what I would go on, and it's at 450 milliseconds. That's the digital version. And if you go through all these, they got different ones. Like there's a panning one. I think the panning one only works if you're plugged out, because you can plug out from, and it'll be in stereo. Yeah, it just has an interesting effect to it right here. But I think it pans from side to side. If you do it, there's tape echo, there's reverse echo, which is actually really cool. And there you go. But yeah, so that's the reverse echo. Alice, what are you doing? No, you're not coming over here right now. You can't stand there because the camera will film you and you'll block the screen. So I have it filmed to film the screen, okay? So anyway. Normally I don't mind having you in my videos, but I can't have you in this video because I got too many things going on. It's too complicated. Let's see. So, where was I at? I'm on the delays. So there's a whole bunch of different delays that you can go through, basically. I hope this video is not horribly boring, but oh, you got a modulating delay, which is kind of interesting. Gives you a little bit like almost like a chorus with the delay, which is kind of cool actually. And like I said, with the same ones, you can program 3 different ones of those, and you can select through those. Either you have the foot switch or the panel or the software. Yeah, there's a lot of options actually. And of course, there's phasers on the effects and phasers in the mods and choruses and flangers and univibes and you name it. Actually, the univibe is actually pretty cool, I think. I'll show you that one. That one actually sounds kind of cool. Where's my univibe? Right here. That's in my effects. The univibe is kind of crazy. Listen. That's cranked pretty high. It's got a pretty good univibe setting. Honestly, I find the majority of the effects in this thing to sound really good. And there's a lot to choose from. I mean, it's virtually every Boss pedal you can possibly get, minus a few, plus a couple other ones like tube screamers and some random stuff. There's like some modeled ones like the Klon and stuff like that are in here. So those sound really cool. And then you get to your reverbs. Your reverb has the reverb mode, which is reverb, because I think the reverbs are, I'm not going to go through all these, but they're, yeah, you got delay and reverb, and then you can do it analog or digital. Analog is obviously a digital simulation of analog, which is interesting if you think about it. You got spring, room. I'll show you all the different ones you get. You've got a plate, room, hall, spring, and a modulate, which is pretty cool. So they cover all the reverbs. Honestly, you really don't need anything else if you have this amp. This amp covers like everything. I mean, you really don't need anything else. But that, and you've got that. There are other settings on here like librarian. This is where you can create. I've never done any of this stuff. This is what they call live sets. I think you can download these and put them in there. Oh yeah, you download them and you put in like they call them sneaky amps and stuff like that, where you can get different settings and different. Tone Central is the website. And on Tone Central, you can watch tutorials and download patches that other people make, which are pretty cool. I don't get too much into this because it gets kind of crazy. There's so much stuff to go through. However, it is all there for you if you want it. And there's a system setting here which has a bunch of different stuff like power amp in setting, global EQ. There's a global EQ. You can set your USB. The owner's manual is in here. Yeah, a lot. It's a lot of technical stuff. Honestly, it can get overwhelming. I stay on the editor. I put in the effects I like. I play it through the front of the amp. It's like having a pedal board and an amp, and for me it works. And if you were to, up here in the corner, am I blocking the screen? Sorry. Up here in the corner, it says write. You can clear it and you can write it and it'll save to one of your presets. And you can call up that preset via the foot switch or all that stuff. So yeah. So I don't know. I hope that helps. I hope that gives you an idea of what you can do with this thing. There's not much else that I can say about it other than that's what it is. And it gets kind of complicated, and I try not to get too into this stuff just because it's just too much stuff to focus on. However, that is it, and that is how it works. And if you want to mess with it and you want to get involved in that and start deep diving, go right ahead. But like I said, you can literally turn the amp on, plug it in, and play. And it comes with a couple things preset in there, like a tube screamer and a blues driver, and like, you know, it has preset ones. Actually, I can show you the ones that come. If I go to channel 1, because I never changed it. Should change, right? Yes. The ones that come pre-programmed in here, the boosters are the right from the factory. The boosters, you get a blues drive, an overdrive, and a distortion. The mods, you get a chorus, a phase 90, a flanger, and a flanger. The effects is a tremolo, a T-wah, whatever that is, and an octaver. And on the delays, you get digital, analog, and tape echo, and the reverbs are set, you know, very basic. I mean, literally, you could keep it like this, and you would be fine. You would have more than enough effects, and you could make this work. But that's what it comes like preloaded from the factory, because I saved all these other ones. I cleared them all out, but I put in what I like, basically. What effects I like, and then, you know, I usually keep it on panel setting and just adjust the knobs like a regular amp. You don't have to, but that's how I play it. So, yeah, there you go. There's the Boss Tone Studio. I hope you got something out of that. I know I could have been rambling on here, but doing the best I can, because I don't mess around with this stuff too much. But I figured it'd be good to show you how this all works. But yeah, this has been the Effects Loop. I'm Jay Byrne, and if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Comment if you'd like. I think there's a notification bell. If you hit that notification bell, you'll know if I put out a new video. Generally speaking, I put out new videos on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays are going to start being kind of like the talkier videos, and Wednesdays will be more of the playing videos. Yeah, I'm going to kind of work like that.
Wednesdays will be playing video. Just the guitar and playing all the stuff, like testing.
Yeah, and Monday's going to be like...
And then Monday's just going to be like...
almost like podcasts. I have an idea where...
And then you said another one was just talking.
Yeah, I have this idea for a walk and talk video where I'm just going to... You know, it's almost like a podcast where I just, you know, talk about new things or things that I'm interested in.
So maybe like you go outside, maybe you just walk.
Right, walk around.
And like just talk about.
And talk about stuff, and who knows.
Maybe you could talk about your backstory, about like your first guitar, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that kind of stuff. That's a good idea.
No hit. The backstory, if you actually do it.
I'm trying to end the video, Alice.
If you do that, you don't just have a good day.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring this this long video to an end.
Yay!
But anyway, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and that's what I'm thinking about going forth and what I'm going to try to do. So, yeah, more videos to come. Take care.